I started my agency nearly a year ago, and 2 partners have left in that time, and I run the business by myself now. But after managing clients and earning 5 figures a month, I'm going to tell you the 5 things to avoid when you're starting out with your own agency. So the first thing, focus on one skill and master it. After doing the research that you want to start your own business and that you want to start your own agency, focus on one thing that you want to be good at and become an expert on it. And that could mean the service that you provide or the industry that you're in. In my case, I decided to become an expert in my industry, and that is the construction industry. I have prior experience of working on a construction site, dealing with those kind of people, so I know how they behave and how they feel about everything. So then it was my job, after being an expert in my industry, to learn as much as I could about my service and then get perfect at it. So then when I present my service to those construction owners, I know what I'm talking about and I'm not talking about rubbish. So now in your case, you might want to decide what agency you want to run. Is it going to be an ads agency? Is it going to be a content agency? Is it going to be web design like our agency? The list is endless, but you can do so much research to actually become an expert in your field. After you decide that, you want to make sure what your offer is and what makes you stand out. Because think about it, everyone wants to start an agency. It doesn't require any capital up front. So you need to think what makes you different and why should people use your service? To help you decide with all of that, what skills are you good at? What do you enjoy doing the most? Are you a good designer? So web design might be an option for you. Have you got particular network connections in one specific industry, which could help you bring on so many clients? For example, you could do Google ads for gym owners. You need to find one avenue which you can go down and the opportunities will become endless. Just find something that excites you and that will drive you to keep doing it every single day. You need a discipline. Motivation isn't a thing. You need to be disciplined in what you want to do and what you want to achieve, and keep with it until it does work. Now, the second thing is that communication is 50% of your service. You might think that clients don't really care about what you're doing, they just expect the results, but they still want to know what's going on, even if they might not understand it. And that's your job to explain it and keep them up to date in what's going on. For example, if you're running Google ads, you want to keep them updated on what's going on. Say you're doing PPC. You want to say, okay, we're targeting this area, we're targeting that. They might not care, but they know that you're working. If you don't message them for a whole month and then expect another payment at the end of the month and just say, we done this, we done that, here are your results, this is what you should get, they're not going to be happy because they just think, oh, all you've done is clicked a couple buttons, took a couple grand from us, and now you expect us to pay another month when we don't know what's going on. So I would definitely say to over communicate is so much better than to barely even speak to the client. With over communication, you're constantly reassuring the client of all the work that's being completed and that you care about their business. You're constantly working on it, trying to get them results, because if you get results for them, they'll constantly be happy and you can keep the client on a retainer basis. For example, for our SEO clients right now, I'm providing weekly updates. I think one of our clients doesn't even read the emails. That's how much I over communicate, but it's so that they know, just in case they one day want to look through those emails and be like, okay, I've seen the SEO go from this position to that position. These are all the backlinks that are being created. Here's the blog that's being posted. I'm making sure that they have all this information so they know what's going on instead of just giving me all the work and not really understanding what's going on. I'm trying to provide them with as much information as possible so they're happy and I'm happy, and that there can be no misunderstanding on what's going on, because the client might expect one thing, you do another, and the communication falls through and you lose a client. Now, just as I said about retaining a client, the third thing I would say is that you're not going to be able to retain every single client, and it's the hard truth. Of course, it would be a dream world that every client you sign stays on for a monthly retainer for the rest of your life. It becomes so much easier. You don't have to look for clients each month, but that's just not how it is. Some businesses fail, some businesses don't want to work with you anymore for whatever reason it could be. But the best thing I would say about this is that you can learn from your mistakes. You might have lost to one client because you didn't communicate. So you know with the next one, if you communicate more, you have a higher chance of keeping them. Or they don't like your service that you've done, or they weren't happy with the services you provided. So now you can see what's wrong with your systems and actually improve your service, so the next client is more than happy to pay that money to you for your service, and you can keep them on. So each mistake that you make, especially at the beginning, because you never know what to expect of your clients because you're still learning, especially at the beginning, you can essentially upgrade all your services after each mistake and after each client not signing on with you. Now, the fourth thing, and you might not be expecting it, but it could be a couple months down the line when you start your agency, is that you should hire people based on their personality, not just about their skill. And this might sound weird at first, but let me explain. You're hiring someone into your company that you're going to be dealing with daily. So you want to be able to get along with them. You want to have the similar personality traits and similar goals. Yes, it is still required to have a bit of skill of what you're hiring. For example, a sales rep, you want them to be good at sales. But imagine if you hired an expert, but you just don't get along. It's going to make your life hell, and it's going to be even harder to run your agency because you're not only dealing with business with clients, you're dealing in-house with someone that you've hired that you don't like and you can't work with them. So hiring on personality really just makes it easier for you, because then you have the same goal. You want to achieve the same thing. Everyone has that drive to work for your company, work for your agency and just make some money. My first question that I asked for every single sales rep when I interviewed them was, tell me a bit more about yourself, what you like doing outside of work, what are your hobbies? Straight away I found out who they are. I could relate to them straight away. I remember one guy saying he's going gym, he's working out, he's changing his life, he's disciplined. Another guy said he was an Arsenal fan. Straight away we could forget about work and we knew we could get along, and that meant so much to me because, like I said, I'm messaging these people daily, I'm getting on calls with them, I'm trying to work with them. It makes it so much easier for me with, I like all of these people and I know I can work with them and I know I can trust them. That's another big thing. If you hire just on skill, you never know if you can trust them or not. You need to be able to get along with them. You need to like their personality and they need to like yours as well. It goes both ways. And my fifth mistake is sales is everything. And this really links well to my sales reps. Before, when I started my agency, it was all about making the perfect website. It was all about providing the best service to the client. It's all about making sure everything is perfect. All the systems work amazingly. Then I realized, okay, we've done that for one client, but where are the rest? There was no clients in sight. And that's when you realized, okay, I need to become a salesperson. And no matter what you think, no matter what you do, not just in an agency, but any type of business, every business is a sales business. And it comes from this point of view. Once you have your systems in place, I can create a website now, click of a finger, because I have everything sorted. Yes, it might take a bit longer than a click of a finger, but the whole process doesn't have to be thought out every single time. So now my main goal is just to bring in clients. Everything else is ready. So it applies to you as well. Once you have the know-how of Google Ads or PPC or whatever you're doing, what else are you going to do? You're only going to think about clients and just trying to get as many as possible and then building out your team. So that is sales. Every job is sales. And I'm going to give you a little point what I've done with my agency, where I've hired sales reps on commission only. And that is great for someone who doesn't have the money invest or monthly retainers coming in to be able to afford to pay someone. If you're on a commission-based only model, you're able to just pay the sales reps for the work that they've completed and the clients they're bringing in. So now I'm working with my team to make sure, are you doing this? Are you doing that? Because if they get clients, both of us are happy because we're both getting paid. And everyone's commission model might be different, but I require a lot for them, so I offer a very generous commission-based model. Because like I said, once I bring on a client, the process is all ready. So all I need them to do is try to bring on more and more and more. And again, it's just sales. So those are the 5 things I wish I knew when I started my SMMA agency. But I'm glad I went through all of these things because I've learned from them and I know not to do them in the future. And that's why I'm sharing them with you, to make sure you don't make the same mistakes and get ahead. So if you did enjoy this video and you found it very useful, please like and subscribe. I make videos every single week and I'll see you next time.